beautiful baddies. Welcome back to yet another episode of Your Inner Baddie Speaking. I'm not gonna lie, for today's episode, I am gonna get right to the point real quick. A little tough love for you here. If you do not trust yourself, you should certainly not be putting your trust and your decisions in others. Run it back real quick. Do not put your trust in others. And I mean that, like, if you don't trust yourself and you are relying on other people to make a decision for you, to tell you the best path to go down, to look out for your well-being, to just make the best decisions possible for you, you should not do that because you don't trust yourself. If you can't trust yourself and you're the one with your best interests at heart, I mean, at the end of the day, nobody wants what's best for you more than you. You are out here fighting for your confidence. You are out here fighting to make good life decisions. You are out here fighting to be the best possible version of you, right? Another person, yes, I want your support system to be strong. And I'm not saying not to trust people, but it's hard for you to put trust in others and let them sort of run your life if you do not trust yourself to make that decision for you. You need to learn how to make decisions for you. You need to learn how to trust yourself. You can't, really, if you can't trust yourself, then how do you really trust others? You're just hoping, probably, I know from a little experience, you're hoping that those people will have your best interests at heart. And when it doesn't happen, you feel betrayed because you didn't trust yourself enough to make those decisions for you. So let's focus on you. I know it's really, really hard, especially if you've grown up in unpredictable environments, you've grown up with some trauma, you've had trauma in your life, especially that came from other people. It is so hard when people make you question your reality, when people gaslight you, when people make you feel crazy, when in your head you know that what has happened, you know that what you went through is real, you know the pain that you feel stems from those areas, or just in general, like in life, it is just hard if you weren't raised like that to listen to yourself first. And especially, we've talked about being a people pleaser and really stepping in and putting your boundaries first and putting yourself first, and how difficult that can be. That kind of goes hand in hand with this episode and with this topic. To trust yourself means that you put your trust in yourself first. It means that you know wholeheartedly, if you're making a decision, let's just say a job, let's say, moving somewhere, you should trust, just as simple as like making a decision on what you want to do that day. Like, do you feel pressured to go somewhere? Do you feel like you have to be somewhere? Are you putting yourself in an environment where someone's telling you, oh, you should go here, you should hang out with us, but what you really want to do, maybe get a drink by yourself. Maybe you want to stay at home. Maybe you've been out, out and about a lot. And I don't just mean like out, like, out. I mean, you've been out doing things. You've been busy with work. You've been out at functions, whatever the case may be. You've been busy, and in your heart of hearts, you just want a chill night. You want to stay at home. You got to trust that decision. And it's hard. It's hard, when you have outside voices, especially with a support, we talk about your support system, and you should trust them and they should really be invested in your well-being. And I think all of that is true, but at the end of the day, only you know what's best for you. Only you can trust what should be done, because at the end of the day, you have to live with the decisions that you make. And you can only say, well, I didn't, it wasn't me, I didn't want to. You can only use those excuses for so long, because you have to start taking some accountability of what you're putting yourself through. And it is very, very, very hard to let someone else either make decisions for you or put your full trust in somebody when you're not trusting yourself. But what I truly mean here is that you've got to learn to trust yourself before you put all that trust in others. And I don't want this to be a negative episode of like people are leading you astray or people don't, have your well-being in their heart. That's not what I'm saying. People do care for you and people want the best for you, but what they think is the best for you might not be what actually is the best for you. You have got to make these decisions, and it is important to your confidence that you trust yourself. It is important that you trust anywhere from, what do I want to make for dinner this week? It shouldn't be someone else saying, oh, I really want spaghetti. And you don't. You want the furthest thing from it. You want like burgers. I don't know. But like that might seem silly, but you have to trust yourself. You have to learn to trust in the decisions that you are going to make, because you are going to have to make so many more for you. And the more that you trust yourself and the more that you make decisions based on what you actually want and what aligns with the future that you want, the more that you will feel confident. The more you step into your power of trusting yourself, the more that you will feel like fuck yeah, I'm making these decisions. Fuck yeah, I trust myself, and I'm going to continue to trust myself. It makes it easier over time. The more you listen to you, the more you trust in your decisions, and even if it doesn't work out, like we've all made decisions of like, even if it's something as simple as, and maybe I'm hungry right now, so all of my like examples right now are based off of food. I don't know. But really, I mean, even something as simple as like picking a restaurant for dinner. Let's just say you or your friend or somebody throws out 3 options and you're really feeling one of them. But you're like, I don't know, like, what are you thinking? What do you want to do? No, fuck that. Say what you want to do. Make that decision. First of all, the other person is probably like relieved that somebody made a decision if no one was making a decision. But also, you will feel more confident because you're showing up knowing that you represented yourself. You trusted yourself. You are now going to have a great fucking meal. And I guess if we're going to go down the line of like something that didn't work out, let's say you picked that restaurant and the food wasn't so good. Well, you know what? That's a turn of events. That sucks. That's not on you though, that's on the restaurant. But you knew what you wanted. You knew what you wanted and you trusted yourself, and you will trust yourself more. And I think it's hard when it seems like big decisions. So that's why I'm using really small examples. When you trust yourself on small decisions, you end up creating that foundation that makes you feel like you can trust yourself for a bigger decision and then a bigger decision until you trust yourself wholly that you know you're never going to lead yourself astray. You're going to know, okay, I want to move here. I want this job. I want this promotion. I want this for my life. I want to go here and do these things. I've always wanted to do this activity. I'm going to do it. It just leads itself to a more confident you. The more that you trust that you will make a good decision for you. And I'm gonna backtrack a little bit in terms of background on this, because it sounds so nice, right? It sounds so like, okay, I trust myself, I want this, so I'm gonna say I want this, and that leads me down a path of being more confident, right? Sounds easy. Well, it might not be for you. I know at least for me, it wasn't. I was very much, and whether I was raised this way or whether this is just something that I took on based on the things that were around me, I definitely trusted other people over trusting myself. And that's hard to take a look at. That's hard to admit. That is hard. It's hard to really reflect on. It's hard to say I trusted other people with my well-being over myself. Because now the person I am, I'm like, I can't even believe that I would make that statement. But I really did. It was ingrained in me to put other people first, and definitely to put trust in their decision making over mine. I mean, I remember it was a trip I took to go visit a friend, and we were chatting about like packing, and I am known for bringing a carry-on like literally everywhere I go. I've done weeks in Europe and packed only in a carry-on, and sometimes I'm still surprised by how I did it, but like I think the fear of like losing luggage definitely drives me. I'm a weirdo with that. I like just assume my luggage will get lost. So I stress myself out to pack in a carry-on sometimes. Like sometimes it's difficult. And my friend was like, you know, why do you get so stressed packing? Like you're packing for a vacation. If I'm packing for a vacation, not always packing for a vacation. Sometimes I gotta pack for a work trip. But in terms of a vacation, because that's just simpler, it should be fun, right? Like I'm putting together the outfits I want to wear, and it's fun and it's exciting, and I get to take this trip at the end of, all of this packing, so it should be a fun activity. Well, if you've ever been my friend, or if you've been my family, or you've ever been an ex of mine, you probably experienced me either crying or getting real stressed out about what to pack. And my friend was like, well, why? Why is that? She's like, I just like to ask questions of like why people feel the way that they do or act the way that they do. I find it really interesting as to like why you do that and why something stressful is something that you continue to do. And it was almost like it clicked into place really easily. And I was like, well, if we want to dive into the really, really deep decision, it is very hard for me to eliminate options and decide on what I want to bring, because I was raised in an environment where I felt like I always put my decision making and put my trust into others to make my decisions for me. And when I'm packing for myself, it's almost like I want someone there to say, no, not that top, that top. No, don't bring this, bring this. And I feel like I can't make the right decision because I don't trust myself. So mind you, this is a long-standing thing with me, and it bleeds over into things that you wouldn't even think. Like, I would never have thought until asked that question why I get stressed out that would ever have led to me thinking, oh shit, it's because I don't trust myself to make the right decision. And I feel pressured to make a right decision, which is a whole other topic for a whole other time of having to feel like you have to do things right all the time. But I definitely put so much emphasis for a lot of my life on others helping me make a decision because I didn't feel like I could make it for myself. To the point where I'm stressed about packing because I don't think I'm making the right or I can make the right decision on like which tops, which bottoms, which dresses, which shoes to bring. Like, are you kidding me? Like, just think about that for a second. That is something so small and something that I would not put two and two together. So it is crazy to me that something in my past has led to reasoning of me being stressed packing. And I know packing can be stressful no matter what. So I think some of that stress is just packing at its baseline. But I really do, like, I get down to, oh, what if I don't pack the right thing? Oh, what if this isn't right? It's not a jigsaw puzzle. Like, it's just like pack whatever you can and whatever feels right, and you'll figure it the fuck out. And I've never been on a trip where I'm like, ugh, everything sucks because I didn't bring XYZ, because I have so many options and I feel so good about the things that I did bring, and I love the things that I brought. So for me, like, it is easy for me to say this now. It is easy for me to say, like, trust yourself. And I really will say that, like, this is one of the lessons throughout my journey that I definitely think has been harder than others, is trusting myself. I've put so much trust in others. And again, it's not bad to trust others. I think maybe I was a little hot and heavy in the beginning of this, but it's really not bad to trust others. It's just you shouldn't trust them to make all of your decisions for you. It's another piece of, and I think independence does lead to confidence, knowing that you can do something and knowing that you can step up and make whatever decision it is, or do something, or just like that lends itself to confidence. I fully believe that. The more independent you feel because you pay your own bills, or you go out and do the shopping for yourself, or you have learned to navigate life, whether it be a year or a period of time, by yourself completely, where you've had to only rely on you to get shit done. Even solo travel, I think that's why people feel so empowered coming back from a trip, is you made those decisions. And you felt independent, you felt empowered to make those decisions. You trusted yourself to make those decisions. And naturally, that lends itself for you to feel more confident. And I'm all with my hands while I'm talking. If you're watching the YouTube channel, I am very, very, very passionate about this. Because I think trusting yourself is probably one of the best ways to get your confidence. It is one of the best ways to feel confident, is to trust that you are making the right decision for you. It does not have to be the right decision for anybody else, and sometimes that gets hard. Sometimes there can be some difficult decisions where other people are involved, and you do have to choose yourself. And it is not a bad thing to be selfish. If you are not hurting somebody else or impacting them in an extremely negative way, make that decision for you. Because at the end of the day, it is your life, it is your experience, and you don't want to come back from something being like, oh, well, I trusted other people, but I really wanted to do X, and then I missed out on that experience, or I had a horrible time because I didn't feel true to myself. And even if you don't have a bad time, and sometimes I think this is the harder part on trusting yourself, is like, okay, well, I put my trust in others and they made the decision and I went with it, but I didn't have a bad time. Okay, it's not all going to be bad. You're probably with your friends. Like, these are people you love. These are people you want to spend time with. In those scenarios, you likely won't have a bad time if you're in good company. But you might have that back of the head, back of the mind, thing that's kind of eating at you, is like, I really wanted to do X. Or, like when you go around the table and people are like, oh, you want dessert? And you're like, no, because everybody else said no, but you really want that fucking chocolate cake on that menu. Just do it. In fact, you might actually inspire some others to be like, you know what, I also want dessert too. Who knows? You never know also what your decisions might lead to others doing. And I really do feel like the impact that you have when you feel more confident, you start making those decisions, you're gonna feel so empowered that you're gonna wanna start making more decisions for yourself. It's gonna start feeling natural. And that's what we want in this journey. We want all of these skills, all of these ways that you are loving yourself to become natural, to become your baseline. I want you to fall in love with trusting yourself. I want you to fall in love with making decisions for you and knowing that I know what I want. I know where I want to go. I know the best decision for me. I know that I've got my back no matter what, and that I will always know what's good for me. You are going to be your biggest advocate, your biggest cheerleader, and the more you empower yourself to love yourself and honestly get to the point where you are excited to make decisions for yourself because you trust yourself, ooh, that is a dangerous place to be. And I mean dangerous in a good way, Because that means that you are forced to be reckoned with, and you fucking know it. You got so confident, you know it. You know at this point that you are the person who actually does know you best and who does have your best interests at heart. And I think every time that I let other people and I put my trust in others to make decisions for me, I felt like I was betraying myself. I betrayed my own trust. And it doesn't feel good. It doesn't feel good to feel like, oh, I don't know, I'm so indecisive because I can't pick for me. I want you to feel confident enough that you know what you want. Because at the end of the day, you kind of do. Every time you feel indecisive, you kind of do know what you want. You're just afraid. And that's okay. It's okay. A lot of this journey, I was fucking afraid. Sometimes I still am. Sometimes I still feel like, ooh, I'm afraid to make the wrong decision. There is no such thing as a wrong decision if it's one that you want for yourself. It's no such thing as a wrong decision when you know that you're looking out for yourself, that you are your number one supporter, and so you would never make a decision that goes against that. And if you do, you learn from it. Because I don't want to act like, oh, it's all just roses and I just one day started trusting myself and then from here on out I made decisions that totally align. No, I fuck up. And it's okay to fuck up. It's totally okay to make a decision that you're like, ooh, that one wasn't the best for me. That wasn't the best for me. That's okay. Then you learn, all right, why did I pick that? What seemed about that decision? Or did I did I put my trust in other people's hands again? Did I not make that decision for me? Or if it was my decision and I had, total full trust in myself to make it, and I felt like I didn't make the best choice for me, why is that? What led me to feeling like the other choice was better at the time? Just learn from these things. We're gonna slip up because it doesn't come natural until you pour that love into yourself, you trust yourself, you fully start to believe in your decisions, and you really do love yourself in a different way. You feel empowered in a different way, and now you feel like you can make those decisions. It's a journey. It's a journey to put your trust in yourself. It seems so ironic because it's like, okay, well, me, yeah, of course, why wouldn't I trust me? Well, we're not all conditioned to. We're not all conditioned to. It's hard. Sometimes it's easier to put your trust in others because also, let's just be blunt about it. You might feel like it's easier because then you have someone else to blame. Because it's harder to make a choice and it doesn't feel good, or you didn't feel like you made the right choice at the end of the day, and then have to look at yourself on why you picked it, and then have to learn from it. You can just put it on somebody else. That does seem easier, but over time it's not easier. Over time it's so much easier to learn from yourself and trust yourself to get to a point where you're like, this is a breeze. I know what I want to do. I know if I need a night in or I need a night out. I know if I want chicken for dinner or if I want pasta for dinner. You got options, baby. You got options. And so trust yourself to make a decision with all of those options. Trust yourself. And when you trust yourself, it'll be so much easier to put your trust in others, because you know at the end of the day that you'll always stay true to yourself. So if somebody starts, wavering from what you think is right for you, you'll spot that. It'll be a lot easier to spot instead of just falling into a pattern, falling into line with others. And sometimes it's okay. Like, I don't always want to make decisions, and sometimes I'll be like, you know what? I don't really care. I know one way or another it's going to be good for me. None of the options are bad options, so I'm going to put it in somebody else's hands, because I don't want to plan everything, Sometimes I just want to kick back, and that's okay too. But again, It's because I'm at a point where I trust myself and know that I know that those options are going to all be good for me. So I don't care if somebody else makes a decision for me, because there's no wrong decision. And I know that. So I'm okay with it, because I would have picked any of them and been happy with the decision. So that's on trusting yourself. That's on a space where you get to where you love yourself enough and you feel empowered and you feel confident enough in what you would choose for yourself that you can trust others to make decisions, and you can trust others. But most importantly, before any of that, you gotta trust you. So please start with the small things. Start with little things and just trust yourself. Start trusting yourself to make the best decision for you, and don't be scared when you might make a decision that doesn't ultimately lead to the best result. That's okay. Also, it's life, so not every decision does work out. That's just the name of the game. But you at least will trust in why you made that decision, and you'll trust yourself a lot more, and that's what we're getting at here. So do, the small steps, make those small decisions, and work your way up to showing yourself that you love the decisions that you'll make, that you trust yourself. So I really, really, really want you to feel confident in what you would decide for you. Now with that, say it with me, I'm a fucking baddie. All right, love you all till next time.